Okay, guys, welcome back. We had a little bit of a technical issue right there. If you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, we apologize for that. But, Tim, we're right in the middle of the conversation about midterm elections. We talked about summer volatility before that. What are you and Bobby and Brogan telling all of our Guardian clients right now? What's the conversation you're having about 2026?
Yeah, 2026 is again that midterm election year. Watch out for the volatility this summer. Don't let it shake you. We're planning for this for our clients individually, meaning that if you're younger, the volatility is good. Don't worry about it. Keep adding to your accounts. If you're in a spot where you're in retirement, we've already made the necessary adjustments, whether that's using the bucket strategy or the market strategy that we're in to accommodate for these kind of drops that we're going to see in the market.
Do you feel that because of the plans we do, because of the bucket strategies we use, that gives people a lot of peace headed into 2026 years like this?
Yeah, I would hope so. Of course, we always have the clients that call us and say, "Hey, just want to make sure that things are in place," and it's the reassurance factor of, "Yeah, remember we did this, this, and this." It's to accommodate for times just like this summer, and then planning for these next 3 quarters, late this year, early next year, that are typically really good, powerful quarters.
Right, and they're going to be there. And I think people need to just understand where their risk is and how much risk they have. Again, we talked about this earlier in the show where, if you're younger, volatility is actually a benefit for you. I think about my 2 boys. They're 30 and 29 years old. That's a good thing for them.
Sure.
But some of our clients that are 55, 60, 65 years old, that's where that bucket strategy really falls into place, because when times like this do happen, they got a peace of mind about them because they've got an income plan set up, and they're ready for these type of times in the market. When we come back on our next segment, we're going to talk about our bucket strategy and why that's so important. But you might be asking yourself today, gosh, do I have too much risk in the market? We have a really neat quiz you can take. It's called GIARiskQuiz.com, GIARiskQuiz.com. Takes about 3 minutes. Go take the quiz, then come in and see one of the guys. Here in Chattanooga, you can come see Tim and Bobby, 423-710-9199. Up in Knoxville, come see Brogan at 865-951-7526. And as always, we offer my book, Plan Today, Own Tomorrow. All you have to do is scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this on YouTube and Facebook. If not, go to plantodayoffer.com, plantodayoffer.com. My wife will reach out to you, get your information. She'll send the book right out to you. After you read the book, I'd love for you to come in and see the guys. Again, Tim and Bobby in Chattanooga, 423-710-9199. Brogan up in Knoxville, 865-951-7526. When we come back, we're going to really get into the planning side of things and talk about our bucket strategies a little bit. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back. Hi, my name is Gary Thurman, owner and CEO of Guardian Investment Advisors. For years, our team has helped thousands of retirees and pre-retirees build a confident, predictable, and stress-free retirement plan. If you've worked hard for 30, 40 years, you deserve a retirement that works for you, not one filled with uncertainty, rising healthcare costs, or market concerns. At Guardian Investment Advisors, we take a comprehensive approach to retirement. That means we help you with building a reliable income plan so you know exactly where your paychecks will come from. Navigate Medicare with clarity, making sure you pick the right coverage to avoid costly mistakes. Preparing for long-term care needs with smart planning and protection strategies. Managing your investments with a personalized portfolio tailored to your goals, risk tolerance, and your retirement timeline. Reduce taxes wherever possible with proactive planning so you keep more of your hard-earned savings. You deserve a retirement plan built specifically for you, not a one-size-fits-all approach. Plan your retirement the right way. Call us today or connect with us using one of the many options below. Let's get started empowering your retirement right now. Thank you. Welcome back to Plan the Day, Own Tomorrow. Gary Thurman, CEO, Guardian Investment Advisors, in here with my good friend and lead advisor, Tim McDermott. And we're having an interesting conversation today because we've really focused the first half of the show on summer volatility and then midterm elections. And how is that going to impact your portfolio? And we've said this 100 times. Can you time the market? We're going to start with that question to Tim, but then we're going to get into how planning for times like this, planning for summer volatility, planning for midterm elections, having a written plan in place, why that is essential to make sure that you can retire and be happy and stress-free going into retirement. Timing the market rarely works, Tim, bottom line. And can investors consistently time the market?
You can consistently try.
That's a good one. Instead of just saying no, he said you could try. Yeah.
In the stats that I've seen, no, it's not very likely to do it and do it very successfully. You've got to be right twice. You got to be right on when to get out, and you've got to be right on when to get back in. And if you miss one of those, it really throws the whole thing for a loop, right? One of the things we see a lot is clients who get nervous during downturns, folks who are coming to us looking for some help during those downturns.
Right.
And their question is, should I just sell? Should I just get out? What should I do? And it's that conversation of being proactive, getting into a strategy before things like this happen. If you're in this already and you're in it in the middle of a downturn, what do you do, right? And that really depends on what your situation is. Sometimes you do need to sell because you've taken on too much risk and you can't afford to go through that volatility. Sometimes it's too far in the hole to get out, and so you need to make some appropriate decisions. That's what Bobby and I do, right? Brogan as well. We'll take your current portfolio, we'll run it through the analysis, we'll tell you what kind of risk is involved there, and what kind of downside you could be seeing versus the potential upside. And then we can help kind of develop and make that plan from there to say, this is what we need to do next.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. You just mentioned you run it through the analytical system that we have for folks out there listening. So they come in, they bring their statements. You're able to run it through this program that we have, and when they come back in, you're really able to give them all the X and O's and dotted I's and everything else about the current plan they're in. And sometimes that catches people off guard a little bit, that they didn't realize how their portfolio was actually set up. Is that correct?
Yeah, more times than not, we can show you something that you haven't seen in your portfolio before. Even these guys that know pretty well what's going on, self-managed or working with an advisor, and think they understand these things. A lot of times there's hidden cost inside of these different strategies that you wouldn't know about unless you read through a 600-page prospectus for each holding, right? A lot of times there's more risk involved than what you may initially know. And the interesting part in 2026, we've had a major economic change in the last 5 years here where we've seen two things. We went from a falling interest rate environment to a rising interest rate environment. And then secondly, we saw a massive amount of volatility. We're on track right now to see more 1% moves daily than we've seen in the last 9 decades.
We've seen that this week.
That's right. Yeah. So you got to be careful and understand what's going on. It's not just about, hey, this is what's worked well for the last 30, 40 years. This is the changing economic environment that we're in, and how do we adjust appropriately?
So if we can't predict markets, which we've said it's almost impossible to do, what should people be doing instead?
Build a plan.
Build a plan.
Yeah. It's the name of our show. Plan today.
Plan today, own tomorrow. That's right. Love it.
If you can build a plan that helps you adjust for this risk tolerance, if it helps you to build an income stream that you know you can't outlive, if it helps you keep up with inflation and take on the healthcare cost and avoid the high market volatility that's out there, you can go through these volatile times and not have to worry, because every single month that paycheck that you need in retirement is in your mailbox. It's there. It's waiting for you. That's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Figuratively.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It goes into your bank account, but it's there. So every Wednesday night, you guys can go out and get your happy hour appetizers with your friends like you always do, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what's going on in the market. You worry about what's going on with family and your health and everything else.
I think what I'm hearing with what you and Bobby do here in Chattanooga, what Brogan does, and of course you guys work with Brogan as well up in Knoxville, you actually sit down with clients and you manage the risk. And that's one of the first questions you ask is, how do you feel? I've heard you say it 100 times. How do you feel about a 10% loss, a 15% loss, a 20% loss? Once you know what that risk tolerance is or that risk capacity is, then you can manage that better for the clients.
And those are two different things, right?
Totally.
Yeah, risk tolerance. Out there saying, hey, you can tolerate this kind of risk in your plan. This is what you can kind of take on and afford to take risk-wise.
Right.
Capacity meaning, hey, this is how I feel about things. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't,
gut. It's what my gut's telling me.
I can't.
My heart.
I can't. I don't like taking on more than 10% or 15% or whatever the case may be, right? And those numbers don't always align, and
Right.
that's an important conversation to have as well.
So I think that falls perfectly in line with going straight into our bucket strategy. We try to make things easy and I guess more simple when it comes to retirement planning. So instead of throwing a lot of graphics and pie charts and all these things at you guys, we actually use what we call a bucket strategy. We have a red bucket, a green bucket, and a yellow bucket. So, Tim, we got about 5 minutes left on this segment. Let's break those down. Red bucket, we feel at Guardian that everybody should have some money in the market. We feel everybody should have some money in the market. That's going to fall into that red bucket strategy. Let's break that down.
Yeah, red bucket here is it's set up to give you growth, to give you inflation protection, to give a bucket of money that you can go and pull from when things don't go according to plan.
Sure,
because they never do, right?
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah, that's right. The car breaks down, the AC goes out, whatever happens, right? And you need to kind of refunnel some money back into those bank accounts to fill up that emergency bucket.
Right.
You can pull from this red bucket. And it's there to do just that. It is the best way to keep up with inflation.
Right.
It's the best place to get growth. But just like anything else in life, there's a trade-off to everything that happens.
Sure.
And there's risk involved with this bucket. So we don't want all of our money here, which is why we've developed the green bucket. Do you want to tell us about the green bucket?
Let's go ahead. The green bucket is probably my favorite bucket because we have a funny saying, income is the outcome. When you step into retirement, like Tim said earlier, the paychecks go away, so we got to create another paycheck. We got to create another pension if you don't have a pension.
Yeah, how many companies have pensions now? I think it's down to 15%?
Yeah, so Tim, get this. In 2026, there's going to be estimated around 3 million people retiring in the great United States that we live in. 3 million people. That's a lot of people.
It is.
450,000 of those folks are going to have a pension. So that's 2.5 million folks that do not have a pension.
Sure.
So that green bucket, and we don't want all the money in the green bucket either.
Sure.
The green bucket is used to supply an income that you and your spouse cannot outlive. There's a lot of other benefits that go along with that, but we're not going to take all of your assets and put it in the red bucket. We're not going to take all of your assets and put it in the green bucket. The green bucket has one goal: income, income, income. And that's why it's so important for us to show those breakdowns of, let's get the income. That way the red bucket can do what it does. It can work for you, but you never have to worry about running out of money again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's something cool. I think a lot of these income programs that we're using right now give you some options to leverage the assets and use them for more than just that typical income stream that comes in. Riders that help take care of long-term care needs.
Yes, it's big.
At liquidity needs when you need them the most, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. If your concern is more based around, hey, I don't necessarily need all this income. I'm really looking to leave this to my kids or my grandkids.
Right.
Maybe even a charity.
Yeah.
There's some that give guaranteed death benefits involved with them. And so it's a strong way to kind of help take care of multiple problems all at once. And I don't know about you, but a tool that does more than one job is one that can live in my garage.
Pretty awesome. That's right. I love that. Let's finish this segment up with the yellow bucket of money. That's just really our high yield savings accounts, maybe a CD, maybe just a basic money market account or checking account. It's just money you can get your hands on if the transmission goes out on your car, if your refrigerator goes out. I mean, you don't want to pull money out of the green bucket and red bucket if you don't have to.
Quick access, liquid, very safe, stable. Yep.
Now, I mean, we can also put that money in the market and it's 100% liquid, but it's so nice for people to put some of their assets in that yellow bucket and, be able to go down to the bank if they want to, or go online and ask for $10,000 to fix the transmission, whatever the case may be.
These are things when you need them, and you don't want to reach into an account that's down to pull money out when that happens.
Exactly. So the red bucket is for growth. The green bucket is for income. The yellow bucket is basically your emergency account. And that's how we try to make things so easy for you stepping into retirement. So you don't have all these worries and you don't have all the, confusion. I'm worried about too much market risk. I'm worried about running out of money. We try to take all of those worries out of your system, out of your retirement planning. That's what we do here at Guardian Investment Advisors. I'd invite you to give us a call in Chattanooga today. Come in and see Tillman Bobby, absolutely free. Complimentary meeting, 423-710-9199. Come see Brogan, 865-951-7526. And you can always get a copy of my book, Plan Today, Own Tomorrow, by going to plantodayoffer.com. When we come back, we're going to talk about building confidence no matter what happens next. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
We know the market is going to get worse from here. This is the biggest monthly decline in 10 years. People's 401ks took a major hit.
Well, my investments are tanking. My retirement isn't going as planned. I can't believe I let my kid talk me into buying crypto. I mean, what is that anyway?
This was the fourth worst contraction in history.
So how are you two doing?
Your financial future doesn't have to be uncertain. I'm Gary Thurman with Guardian Investment Advisors. If you've amassed a nest egg, it's time for a financial advisor to help you reach your retirement goals. This is one of the greatest tax windows in history. Now is the time to take advantage of this tax discount while you can. All of our advisors are fiduciaries that specialize in retirement planning, tax mitigation, estate planning, and more. Plan your retirement right. Call now for your own complimentary portfolio review and tax analysis. Welcome back to Plan Today, Own Tomorrow. Gary Thurman, CEO and founder of Guardian Investment Advisors. Thanks for spending time with us this morning on the radio or watching us on YouTube and our Facebook. We appreciate it. We've had a great show today. We talked about the market volatility during the summer months. We talked about the market volatility midterm elections that are coming up very, very soon. Here it is, June already. And then we talked about our bucket system and how we really try to make things easier for all of you when it goes into retirement. If these are things that you're worried about right now, you can come in and see our advisors. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time. Chattanooga, 423-710-9199. Up in Knoxville, 865-951-7526. And if you'd like a copy of my book, Plan Today, Own Tomorrow, go to plantodayoffer.com. That's plantodayoffer.com. So, Tim, building confidence. Someone stepping into retirement, pre-retiree, if you call it, or they're post-retired. They've been retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the case may be. What should their focus be right now?
Yeah, having that plan that works, you want to make sure that you're in a position to where the income is taken care of. It's helping to take care of inflation and healthcare risk along the way. Just making sure the plan is the way that it needs to be for your retirement to work comfortably.
And how many clients do you have coming in? They see us on TV, they watch our radio show, they see some of our social media posts, or they come to one of our dinner events. These headlines. I mean, the headlines can absolutely emotionally devastate you.
Yeah.
They should stay away from headlines, right?
News is important. You want to know what's going on around the world, but don't get so caught up in the headlines, right?
Yeah.
The headline's usually a quarter of the story.
Oh, absolutely.
And the headlines are meant to get you to read the article. They're there for sales because kid yourself not, the news corporations and the business of making money, and that's how they make money, is by getting you to read and follow up with what they've got going on. Stay vigilant about what's going on there in the headlines, but don't get absorbed by it.
I like that advice. That's great advice. What gives retirees confidence during these uncertain markets that we're about to step into?
The plan that works, the proactive nature of what it is, and maybe every now and then a little reassurance that the plan's in good order, right?
Sure.
If you feel like you don't have a plan, or your plan hasn't adjusted, or you need to kind of readjust that plan. That's where we come in. We can certainly help with that. We'll talk to you about the income plan, the tax plan. We haven't talked about taxes this round, but everybody's concerned about taxes.
Absolutely.
As somebody helping you take care of long-term care, and by the way, that doesn't always look like that traditional long-term care plan. There's multiple ways around long-term care in today's world, so talk to us about that. And making sure that you're diversified in a manner that actually makes sense in 2026.
Yeah.
Talked last segment about the economic shift we've seen in the last 5 years. That changes the diversification story. So if you're still in that typical modern portfolio stocks and bonds blends, a conversation is needed.
Yeah.
And needed desperately.
And it's just a conversation. Like Tim said, it's just a conversation. It's not going to cost you a penny. I want to go back because you just mentioned tax planning. And yes, we talk about this on the show every single week because we're at a golden time, a golden opportunity for folks right now to do some serious tax planning. Our national debt's going up $5 million per minute. We're spending more as a country than we're bringing in taxes right now. So we feel that taxes are most likely going to go up in the future. I know one of the biggest conversations all of you and Bobby and Brogan are having right now are Roth conversions. Why is that so important right now?
It's a looming debt in retirement that most people don't think about. You owe a certain amount of that IRA, that 401k to Uncle Sam. When you do it and how you do it can make all the difference in the world. Taxes are essentially cheap right now.
Sure.
Might not feel that way.
I know. It doesn't. Yeah.
But if you've got to pay Uncle Sam at some point in life, these Roth conversions allow you to pay him off and tell him to go away.
Yeah. Go away. Go away, Uncle Sam, your favorite uncle in the world. Tax planning, we think income planning, tax planning, and healthcare planning, you got to have all three of those inside of your retirement plan because those are three of the major killers when it comes to retiring happy and living every day like a Saturday. I love this question, Tim. What's one thing you wish every retiree actually understood?
Retirement income is the outcome, right? You want to make sure that you have an income that's sustainable and that protects you from all these different risks that are out there in retirement. Retirement's really not about the investments so much as it is about the income that you have coming in.
Sure. I love that. And I love that you said it. Income is the outcome. And what are some signs? I'm talking emotional now. What are some of the signs someone may be knowing they're taking too much risk? What are some of the things that might be happening to some of the folks listening out there right now where they're so stressed out and worried about that longevity risk of living for 25, 30, 35 years?
Yeah, that's sign number one, the stress.
Yeah,
right?
Stress.
If you're losing sleep at night because you're not sure what's going on overseas or who's going to take office in November or what kind of risk is in place, that's a big sign that you probably don't have an appropriate plan in place. And then, really making emotional moves during this time frame can be another big sign. The plan that you have in place should account for these different types of environments that we're going into, and it shouldn't put you in a place where you're losing sleep and having all this uncertainty that's out there.
Yeah. What about someone that's just checking their accounts every single day?
Sure.
I mean, they're just like, oh my gosh, oh, we made money today. Oh, we lost money today. I mean, that's an emotional. I mean, that could be a roller coaster in retirement.
Sure. And I'm certain I'll never be somebody that says, hey, stick your head in the sand and forget about things
Correct.
that happen there. But checking it 3-4 times before breakfast is probably just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, it's stressful. It's stressful. And I like this because this really ties into, what we do and what we're offering everybody listening to our show today. What should someone do if they aren't sure where they stand right now?
Come talk to me. I'll tell you where you are. Right?
Yeah. That's what we get. That's what we do, right?
That's right. Come get a second opinion. Take our risk quiz. Gary's talked about that a couple of times. GIAriskquiz.com. I think it takes you 7 minutes.
I think that one only takes 3 or 4. Really, it's pretty quick.
I did it just the other week, and it's a few minutes of your time.
Yeah,
Take
sure.
it. Understand where you're at. Are you ready for retirement? Do you have the appropriate risk in place? And do you know what kind of risk you currently have in place? Get the second opinion. And then if you don't have a plan in place, or even if you do and you're not you're concerned about it, have somebody else write that up for you and kind of show you a second opinion on it.
Kind of walk our listeners through. They walk in the door, they come in to see you and Bobby here in Chattanooga, Brogan up in Knoxville. Kind of walk us through the process of what they can expect.
Yeah. We are fiduciary advisors, meaning that when I do planning for my clients and my prospects, I have to do what's in your best interest at the end of the day. And I take that very seriously. When I ask you to come by and set up an appointment with me, I do want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about what you're wanting to do in retirement, what that income looks like, what that lifestyle looks like. Is there any major changes that we expect to see? Is it important for you to pass on money to kids, or do we want the last check to bounce? All these different things are going to matter throughout retirement. So we want to talk through that. But I'm going to ask you to bring some things. I'm asking you to do your part in this, because this is not a one-way street. It's
Right.
a partnership.
That's right.
And when we work together, I've got to see what you're doing currently. What do your current statements say? If you haven't turned on Social Security, what do those estimates look like? And then taxes. The last year's 1040 can be vital to show what your tax situation looks like.
Sure.
So I'm happy to go out there and build the second plan, give you a second opinion, show you what it looks like to have a stress-free retirement. But I need you to come to the table with your part as well and partner with us on
Yeah,
this.
it takes two to make the tango dance.
That's
or make
right.
it work,
I don't
right?
dance very well, but
You dance when it comes to financial planning very well.
right.
Yeah, you're a great dancer. Folks, listen, I love what Tim just said there. It's getting a second opinion. And a lot of people are intimidated when it comes to walking in, having a conversation about your money. And I promise you, when you walk into Guardian's office in Chattanooga or Knoxville, you're going to feel like you're at home. You're going to feel peaceful. We work as a team to make sure that we do the right thing for you. And, I mean, we got proof of this because when a client comes on with us, most likely that client's going to be with Guardian for the rest of their lives, because we are proactive in what we do. We love to pre-plan. We love for you to be ready for market volatility in the summer months. We love for you to be ready for a midterm election and the volatility that comes along. We also want you to be ready for that rebound after the midterm elections and just be ready to retire. Maybe you want to travel the world, so you need more income in those first 5 to 10 years of retirement. Then when you hit those slow-go years, we can back off on that. But what is important to you when it comes to retirement? How are you going to live your daily life? And how are you going to make every day feel like a Saturday? That's what it's all about, and that's what we do here at Guardian Investment Advisors, because if you plan for today, you can absolutely own your tomorrow. So if you'd like to get a copy of my book, Plan Today, Own Tomorrow, go to plantodayoffer.com, plantodayoffer.com. We'll get a copy sent right out to you. If you want to come in and get that second opinion, in Chattanooga, call 423-710-9199. In Knoxville, call 865-951-7526. Come in. Here's what it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a little bit of your time. Don't bring your checkbook. We don't need it. We want to start putting a plan together for you. But like Tim said, bring your statements. Bring your Social Security statements. Bring your Medicare plan so Tanner can look at it. Let's make sure that you're set up correctly, so every day can actually be a Saturday when you retire. We appreciate you guys joining us this week on Plan Today, Own Tomorrow. We'll be back next week to give you more great education on retirement planning. Guys, God bless. Take care. We'll see you next week.